Hey guys, welcome back to Real Housewives Recaps. Today we are taking a look at Saint Meghan Markle. Welcome sinners. If you're like, Jen, what are you talking about? Well, they're a Reddit group and they're so much fun and they're wonderful over there, and I just love reading everything they have to say. They post really insightful things, really funny things. I'm just a big fan of the group. And so I thought we could take a look at some of the things that they are talking about and maybe have our own conversations about it. And I don't know, just take a look at everything going on. So without further ado, let's jump right on in. Okay, so right out of the gate, I thought this was such an interesting post. I want to give this person credit. It looks like their name is, sorry, it's tiny on my screen, Meghan in NYC. That's an excellent name. With the flair of, I was such a fraud. So I actually have this on my list of video ideas to do. So I've been trying to put something like this together, and I thought, well, maybe I shouldn't cover this because it might come up in a video, and it still might, but I thought they did such a good job writing this out. I thought, you know what, let's have a conversation about it. You guys might think of more things, and maybe I can still do a video on it. But again, a huge thank you to Meghan in New York City for your very insightful post. So it says, why is everything so shady, manipulative, and distrustful with Meghan and Harry? Here's a list of topics that are shrouded in secrecy, lies, and mystery. The question is why? Why make yourself out to be sketchy and untrustworthy on purpose? And she or he goes on to say, feel free to add anything I missed. So they have, how did H&M really meet? This is something I bring up all the time. We got all the different stories. Why is there so much secrecy on where Doria was for 10 years? We've all heard the same rumors, but why won't they address it or discuss it? Very weird. Did Harry fill out a visa application? I don't know much about this, but I'm hearing more and more. I'm hearing he's having, I don't know what the right word is. I don't think it's super big, but I think it's like a hearing coming up and has to do with the visa process. So I'm curious to see what happens there. Why do we never see these phantom kids or hear about their existence? I feel the exact same way. That is so odd to me. Money with Archwell and the need to have 11 shell corporations set up. Whoa, I didn't realize it was 11. Holy snopes. That can't be, let's see, how do I say this? That sounds shady as shit. Let's see, Tyler Perry's odd relationship with Meghan. Yeah, I'm hearing the same thing on the Tyler Perry thing. I don't know if it's where they're implying it's going, but I'm just saying, like, I've heard reports that again, it's all alleged, but I had heard that they had been asked to leave because of the treatment of the staff, but then we see Tyler Perry still gushing over them. So I can't imagine that would be the case. Very curious. All right, next question. Why do they choose to hire former resources of ex-U.S. presidents and first ladies? I've heard the same. That seems to be a thing, but I don't know. I don't know if it was just that. I do think some of it might have to do with Meghan's political aspirations. Yep, I'm rolling my eyes real hard at that one too. I don't know. I don't know how much. I really don't know how much there is to that, and I'm laughing to myself, thinking, well, even if they do, no staff ends up working for them for terribly long. They have a pretty awful turnover rate, so I can't imagine that's, going super well. The odd relationship with Gloria Steinem. You know what? Same. I'm like, Gloria, blink if you need help, because I've seen the pictures too where they're like hanging out or having lunch or whatever, and it does seem odd. I'm guessing money? That might have something to do with it. I don't know. Why is Marcus Anderson always hiding in the shadow, and what is his deal? Same question. It is very odd. From the baby shower to just the hiking pictures and everything in between. If you look closely, you'll see Marcus. It's very odd. Why did Dr. Melissa Drake's practice suddenly close with no explanation? What? I don't even know who that is. I need to look this up. What are we talking about? Can somebody fill me in? Let me know in the comments. Who's Dr. Melissa Drake? I thought I knew everything about this stuff. I guess I don't. What happened to Guy's two front legs? Oh my God, I've heard this too. That's awful. Where remember the dog had he had double casts. And I'd heard two different stories. One had to do with, I don't remember if it was jumping or falling from a big height. And the other one, I believe Meghan's camp had put out something like he ran away from his minder and got hurt. It was very odd. And then I always think about the other one. Remember, they ended up allegedly abandoning him because he was too old. There was something about his age. He was too old to bring over, so they let him go. I don't know. Kids and animals, right? Kids and animals, meaning they know who's good and who's bad. And I think everything you need to know about somebody is how they treat kids and how they treat animals. And so there's that. Where did they go on their honeymoon? Oh, is that a mystery? I thought it was, oh my God, why am I drawing a blank? I did a video when I talked about the wedding and then we go into the honeymoon. It was somewhere, I thought it was somewhere maybe like where William and Catherine went on their honeymoon, something like that. Seychelles? I can't remember. What is the deal with those Saudi diamonds? Ooh, I have a video about that. I go into it. It's one of the book reviews. I believe it was Revenge, maybe. Maybe it was Courteous. I think it was Revenge. But he goes into how they were gifted to Meghan at the wedding. And then, there's a tragic story with them. It's really, truly terrible. I go into it, in the episode. And then the allegations are that Meghan knew that they were awful. And they had an awful backstory. And she chose to wear them anyway. And then also, the allegations are that she hid where the horrible backstory. When the palace asked where she got them, she didn't want to say because she knew they wouldn't let her wear them. It was something along those lines, but truly terrible stuff. Was Meghan wearing a moon bump or was she really pregnant for both children? Yeah. So this is now crossing into the stuff I'm talking about on my series where I'm going into all the questions that we would ask Harry and Meghan. And that's one of my questions too. I don't know. I was very, very hesitant and I'm still hesitant. I don't talk about the kids, but I will talk about her because she's just the whole thing. She's a mess. And it is weird. A couple that's hell-bent on showing off every aspect of everything were very weird about this thing. And I was hesitant to believe a moon bump, but I've seen too many videos and pictures and things sliding around and physics that don't make sense that do make me lean toward the possibility of a moon bump. But again, normally I wouldn't even ask that question, but when you lie about everything and you do shroud it in this weird mystery, then yeah, it's going to make me wonder, right? Why haven't more people leaked stories about Meghan's atrocious behavior anonymously if she's that much of a bully or miserable to work with? I believe that they have, honestly. If you go on different forums, there's always going to be people that don't know what they're talking about that are on there talking, but I don't know. I've read some things that have too many details that make me believe that there is a possibility that people are speaking out. They're just doing it anonymously. So I do think the palace protected her, despite what she says. I do. I think that they protected both of them, actually. And so a lot of that was swept under a rug. But and then a lot of you guys had thoughts, which were the palace isn't protecting Meghan. It's that they're protecting the people who are making the accusation. They don't want those people harassed. And I get that because we've seen the sugars, right? So I get that. And that sucks that they were in that position to begin with, and it sucks that they're here now, right? Why did H never meet Thomas Markle, and how come the royal family don't find it strange that that only Dorius showed up to the con of the century, meaning the wedding? I'm sure the royal family thinks it's strange that only Dorius showed up. I think everybody thinks it's strange that only Dorius showed up. That whole wedding was strange, right? The whole celebrity thing. We've talked about that recently too, how it was just a bunch of celebrities. And I am no fan of George Clooney, especially after sticking up for Meghan so much. But I will say even he said he didn't know why he was there. Like, it's very odd, right? Very odd. I think it just shows, and I'll say both of them, but I'll say it shows the depth there. There's just none. It's very shallow. And it's like, Who can I be photographed with? If I invite them to my wedding, then people will think we're friends, that sort of thing. Let's see here. Why didn't the family demand to meet Meghan's family to some degree? They were paying for the wedding, so that should not have been an issue. I'll tell you my thoughts on this. I think that, I don't know. I'm just thinking in early days, I'm sure Meghan told we know them both to tell quite the tales, right? If she spun the whole woe is me and sold it hard enough, they probably believed her and thought maybe her family is awful or whatever she was telling them, and didn't really push it. So that's all I could guess. I'm sure they found it as odd as we do, but I guess they probably just figured, well, we're not going to push this issue. If Harry's not going to push it, then why would they, right? Question: how can the very best people in the PR game end up failing so miserably with these two? And let's see. And hear no leaks that it was a couple's fault in order to keep Sunshine Sachs' reputation intact. I feel like we don't hear stuff like that because of NDAs. I know that's huge, especially, I don't know, when you get into those California firms, not just California, but you know what I mean, those big firms, PR firms, there's NDAs left and right. We've heard of it even on reality shows, NDAs. So I feel like they probably can't speak up. My guess on why they fail so miserably is the same reason Meghan, with all the access to all the everything in the world, can't dress herself. It's because she thinks she knows best, so she's not going to listen to anybody. So how do you dress somebody like that? How do you give PR advice to somebody like that if they don't listen to you? You can't make them, right? So that's just my guess. That's my opinion on that one. Does anyone really believe that privacy maniac has will let the world know that he's living at the Olive Garden Castle? Oh my God, I've never heard it called the Olive Garden Castle. It's perfect. It's brilliant. It's an excellent question, and I tend to agree. I don't believe anything that they say. I don't believe anything's about privacy, so I'm taking that out of the equation. But I don't believe anything that they say. So who the heck knows? Maybe that's their house. Maybe it's not. We know in the Netflix show they did their interviews in somebody else's house. They filmed it in somebody else's house. So why would they photograph their own house since everything's shrouded in mystery? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that, but that is a very interesting question. And she concludes by saying, just about everything with Meghan and Harry is a facade. How could anyone want to work with them or want any association? It's just baffling to me. This is right up there with the question, how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? The world may never know. Just want to say that this picture here haunts me to my soul. But that said, I really like what that person posted. I like all the questions. Again, if you like this video or like the answers, I would encourage you to go back and look at my, I think it's called like So Many Questions, So Many Lies. I posted it on Saturday, May 27th. And I kind of go into all this, like a lot of questions that we all have and what I would ask Harry and Meghan and what I think the answers to some of these things are. So go check that out if you haven't already. Let's keep going with Saint Meghan. So Won't Yield posted reality versus Harry's truth with a meme. Let's take a look. All right, so we have fact and the lone photographer there to the right that's circled in their yellow taxi. Then we got Harry's feelings, and we have, this person's very clever. I believe this is the scene, if not, it looks a lot like the scene that was altered in the Netflix doc, where it turns out it wasn't even for them, this mob of photographers, but that's what Harry and Meghan believe. I'll go ahead and lump her in this one too, because both of them are like world-class liars. So they believe this. That's how they feel. So that's their truth, right? There is no their truth. It's the truth or no truth, right? Sincerely, Jane Doe posted, I present Duchess word salad shooter of Smollett. With this lovely picture here, I don't know what this is from. I don't think I want to know, but that's a very clever title. Okay, then this person posted, coming soon to a theater near you, starring Mimi and Todger Smollett. The slow and the spurious. And if you're like me and you're like, I've heard that word, I can't remember what it means. Let me help you. No judgment from me. It means not being what it purports to be, false or fake. Perfect. Perfectly sums them up. Love it. Love the title. Love the picture. Perfect. And finally, I don't even know what this was in reference to or what they were answering, because it doesn't matter. It's just I wanted to call attention to Babsy Allen, who used the names for Harry and Meghan. She calls them his and hers. How perfect is that? Somebody even replied and said, "You won Twitter today, my dear. His and hers." That's such a good name. You guys, I'm leaving it on this terrible outfit, lest we never forget. Whew. I'm sorry, but if you're short-waisted, why? Why would you wear this? Why? Oh my goodness. It just looks photoshopped or something. It's like big head. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I so appreciate it. If you want to see more like this, please let me know in the comments. I welcome it. As always, thank you for being here and for supporting. If you want to further support, definitely check out the merch. We got that. Make it make sense. Recollections may vary. Or check out Patreon, patreon.com/Real Housewives Recaps. We hope you have the best day, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.